Hey everybody, and welcome back to Show Plays Corpse Party Book of Shadows. We're starting a new chapter. Encounter. Let's see. Tenjin 5, Is that a 23? Or is it 33? Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing our shopping date. Tenjin 523, number 11. Found it! As long as this doesn't actually read 633, number 77, anyway. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. Apartment 207. Or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from her teacher no less. In any case, it seemed certain this apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow, steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Are teachers' salaries really that low? I have no idea. I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201. Here we are. 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yui's place. The door plate of the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. I guess that means we try number 2. Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up and I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspapers. And then, finally, I arrived at the last door. Got it. This was it. Breathed a heavy sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read Shishido. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yui's place, all right. Huh? What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate. Beware of cat. Shouldn't that be beware of dog? That's Miss Yui for ya. Kinda reminds me of me. I would do something like that. So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Well, they can be vicious-ish. Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? To mice they are. At any rate, I'd confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yui's place, so my errand was nearing its end. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. He'd said he was busy with meetings though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? If it's you, Satoshi, yeah. Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read these? Satoshi, you're not going to read these. Everybody knows it, that's why he picked you. My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I'd become acutely aware of the inherent value of these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me, after all. I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited. And waited and waited some more. But there was no answer. Huh? It did ring, didn't it?
Yui-sensei!
I rang the bell again, and also tried calling out. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we'd heard that Miss Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. It never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her, though.
Yui-sensei! Yui-sensei!
Nothing, huh? Miss Yui? Hello? She was probably sleeping, or out at the doctor's or something, but what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peering in. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside.
Yui-sensei.
It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission. Satoshi, it's wrong? But I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Kitty! The cat! A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name. You're More, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. Satoshi. Yeah, Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yui talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom, probably because she brought too much and had no room for them in her apartment. Here, kitty kitty. Monet? Monet? Is Miss Yui home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. I sure hope Miss Yui's alright. She's probably just out right now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in this speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. And with a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door, opening it easily. Huh? It wasn't locked? That's not good. I can't let Monet get out. Your master is pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that. Monet's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway. What's that, you say? She purrs? Satoshi, why? You and I are on the same page, Monet. Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Well, you're like the protagonist right now, so basically that's okay because it's a video game? But don't do that in real life. Moreover, this was where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed a line, but leapt over it.
Yui sensei.
Miss Yui. I tried calling her name one last time, but as expected, there was no answer. So, what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear. No signs of life whatsoever. Miss Yui really must have been out. One more time, I tried calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed quiet.
Yui sensei! Mochida desu!
Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door. Let's just have a little look-see then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside? That was just too much. Man, if Miss Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense, scalding water. Monet mewed, as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there. Except Monet. Maybe Monet doesn't approve. Oh, right. I could just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just use some notebook paper. Let's see. Miss Yui. Crouching into the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment. Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Other than Monet? Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it, but now I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Huh? Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen. Raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Oh, poor Miss Yui. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. She looks so sick. You poor little teacher.
Sensei.
She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual chem to educator we'd come to know and love. Miss Yui, I'm so sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here! I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But... Miss Yui was just standing there, stupefied, with a completely vacant expression on her face.
Sensei?
I called out to her as gently as I could. But she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yui, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders and tried to grabbed her shoulders and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... Oh, Satoshi, why would you do that? This just seemed to make her cough. Yeah, she's sick and you shook her. That's ungraceful.
Sensei!
Hey, Miss Yui! These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. I guess that's what you get for breaking in. I put a hand to her cheek and found it thick with slimy film of saliva. Ugh, gross. Are you okay, Miss Yui? I don't think she's okay, but people survive head colds all the time, so... Miss Yui hobbled back a little and fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time.
Sensei?
Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strange breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was as sick as can be. I'm cold. Cold? But you're dripping with sweat. That just means it's a really high fever. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up. Miss Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Mochida, from school. If you're cold, you need to sleep under your covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind.
Yui-sensei,
Tsukasa-kun!
Tsukasa?
Eh?
What?
Tsukasa-kun! Tsukasa-kun!
Eh?
Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You'll come for me, Tsukasa. Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Yui, wait, you've got the wrong person. So, how's this for a cliffhanger? I'll see you next time.